So this malicious actually, or this malware analysis, malicious software analysis, or whatever, we start with the first part by learning and let's say acquiring the skills, the necessary skills to learn how to use what are first of all the tools we need in order to start our analysis, and how to do, and let's do the thing actually step by step. Later on we'll come to the let's say the more deep part from the from what the payload can hold. So first of all, actually, the main tool we are going to learn today is the WMI. Actually, it's the Management Instrumentation Console. It's one of the very successful Windows-based command line tools, which will actually lead us to extract all the necessary information about the platform we are using. This is actually a deep excavation or extraction tool that actually can lead us to extract, let's say, very important knowledge if we are talking about the reconnaissance and the fingerprinting, or let's say the enumeration. We saw that we saw those terminologies and those, let's say, uh, activities in first labs, first and second and third labs, were tackling the enumeration and the let's say the reconnaissance. WMI is one of the professional tools that we are going to see how to use them. And actually, the purpose here is not to use them for our skills, but to see what a malicious software can extract, what it can reach because of the use of those actually management consoles. This utility. Okay, let's dig in. Actually, what is this WMI? We said that it is a command line, let's say command. It's a query that we can pass through the terminal, MS-DOS or the PowerShell. We will try to yes. Let's dig in. So here I'm in the normal computer. I'm not in the virtual machine. I'm in the normal computer only. There are restrictions actually to use this WMI, so you have to recognize that. I'm gonna just launch the command prompt. So immediately command prompt as a normal user. Who am I? Who am I? I'm Murad. Actually, as you can see, immediately I'm gonna launch my. I'm gonna just call my WMIC, the first command actually in our guide, and this one immediately it changed my input point. It changed my entry here. I'm no longer in the H or on the C on the drive. I'm in something strange. Actually, it's the command line actually for the WMIC. Here I can pass all my queries to the WMI interface. What are the commands? Actually, what new? So we need to have actually an access to the help. So sorry, I'm gonna type backslash. I'm having trouble to type the backslash. Yes, question mark. Am I right in Arabic? Yes, seems to be. So here. Yes, backslash question mark. Enter. It will list me actually list of queries. Actually, it is saying deprecated based on the version of the operating system I'm using, no more, no less. But it's not the purpose. Entry points, parameters. Still others to come. Press enter. Second batch of the parameters that we can utilize. Those are actually aliases. Still we continue. Aliases still. What are aliases actually that would actually facilitate our service extraction, or let's say our information extraction. They will clarify actually more and more our requests. We see some of them. We see examples of them right now. So here actually by typing the simple command here, which is the WMI, it led us to get into a different console. We are no longer inside the DOS. We are inside this management instrumentation console, which actually has its own, let's say, commands and its own, let's say, parameters, its own attributes and aliases that to be utilized for different purposes accordingly. Yeah, okay. Immediately here, I'm gonna pass to. For example, the first thing actually, based on the request we have here, those are the list of queries we are going to explore to learn this WMI. Immediately from this console only, from this entry only, I'm gonna try to see the version of the operating system I'm using. So OS, Here I'm going to say OS list brief. I'm going to say OS list only. OS list. Okay. The information I got, it's the name of the computer I'm using. Yeah. And some no error indication. Nothing. But here I'm not able to see anything. Just to say that this is the computer I'm using only here. So I'm going to manipulate it differently. So I'm going to say OS list brief to clarify that I'm asking for let's say for knowledge about the OS. So this is the version of the operating system I'm using right now, from which we are executing this command here. Another details. This version here, how I can get it actually, I have to be sure that it is true or not. Actually, it's not how to be sure. It is for sure. It is sure, but um, OS version system ver okay version okay, whatever. Actually, I was about to get the graphical entry for from where we get this number here. Actually, it's the distribution of the operating system. Remember the nomination of, for example, I'm using the Windows 10 system info. I'm going to exit from here. I'm going to open a new command prompt. I'm not going to exit because I'm going to continue. Just to clarify to you what we are doing. CMD again. The operating system the operating system we are utilizing. And this computer I'm using here is Windows 10, I believe. Yeah, it is. So the Windows 10 here is not the Windows 10. I'm here. It's not the final version. We are final version from Microsoft. It's not the final production from Microsoft. There are distributions under the Windows 10, and the distribution we're using here is this. It is having this reference, no more or less. What is the concern here? The concern is that some of the attack techniques refer to specific functions that they are actually supported by specific operating system, no more no less. So for this concern, you have to know that some of the commands would not run, and thus, if you want to apply any of your skills to protect or even to do the attack if you are not ethical. So you have to consider the version, no more or less. The WMI, it works, yes, for the Windows XP and beyond. Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7, and what comes after. So we do not have any issue in this regard. But you have to take in consideration that the distribution of the operating system is a matter to either succeed or fail in executing a request, a query, or a virus to execute his payload. So, because I may write actually some shell script, which completely will fail here. The shell actually, it will not be actually successful for running because the commands I'm using, they are specific to run on, let's say, the Fedora. It's a Unix distribution. So that's conclusion. In order not to speak a lot, the distribution of the operating system, it's a question to make the command either succeed or not based on the compatibility. Full stop. It's not a secret whether it is supported or not. That's the point. Yes, we continue. So here actually I was able to pass a command. The same command here. I'm going to pass it, but not from this console here because we are inside the WMI. I'm going to use the second CMD. Here it is. I'm gonna pass the same command, but from outside of this WMI. So I'm gonna pass the command using the WMIC as an entry, and the OS would be actually an attribute. OS actually I want to list, and the thing actually it has to be actually in brief mode. Yes, here it is. So this is my command, and this is the outcome. So we would have actually the same result. Absolutely, it has to be the same result. 17763, 17763. Right. Yeah. So actually, and I'm not inside the WMI console. So I'm not inside the console. So this command can be automated. What does it mean? Here you may see that you may say, sorry, that this command won't run if a virus holds this query to interrogate the system to get the version of the operating system. So this one won't run. Why? Because it needs to be run from inside the CLI, the command line interface from this management instrumentation console. Why it's not the case? Why it's not the case? Because these we are from within the command prompt and we are passing this query and we are getting the same result. So here, before I pass to the other queries, I'm gonna later on the queries we see them, yeah. But I'm gonna automate this task to say that yes, we can have a payload that passes such query to interrogate an OS. To do so, I'm gonna open a notepad. Yeah, and the notepad, I'm gonna type the same command here. The same WMIC, I need the OS, I need him to, this command I need to list in brief. Actually, the brief is a keyword, I cannot change it because if you can change it, it will not give you, actually, can't give you even an error even. And I'm gonna save this file that has one query only, one command only. I'm gonna save it secretly with a secret actually name. Let's say save as. I'm gonna use my documents and refer to our folder from security. Okay, here I'm gonna create a new folder. I'm gonna say here malware analysis or malicious software. I'm gonna use malicious software what analysis. Okay, great. So here inside, I'm gonna give a name. I'm gonna say here payload dot at the payload, the word payload, it's okay. You can give any name. The important is don't give a space from within the name. But the dot bat you have to respect. The dot bat it's a must. Dot bat batch, and I have to specify that this is not txt by indicating here just changing the txt, and here I'm going to use UTF-8. The UTF-8 is not important, but here you have to change it from txt. It's not txt. This is not txt. This is a bat file. I'm going to save it here. Save. It has been saved. Here's the name. I'm going to close. Okay, come back to, I'm going to check it. Yes, here it is. And see the icon. See the icon. It is actually with two dodges. So it is very fine. I'm going to double click it. Again. See, it blinks, and it closes. It blinks, and it closes. Again and again and again. Nothing would happen but to blink. Okay. It's not the way how we run it. So from here, I'm gonna launch it. So from here, to get it from here, on top of this, let's say this tool, press the shifting keyboard, keep it pressed, right click in mouse, and copy as path. Copy as path here. I come back to my command prompt from anywhere. I'm gonna say, yes, I'm gonna just type, right click, I'm gonna paste what I just, sorry, not here, not this one. I'm gonna paste what I just copied. Not this one, I copy this one, I repeat. This will be not copy. So shifting keyboard, keep it pressed, then right click, then leave all, and copy as path. I come back here. Come on, hit it. Paste, here it is. Yes, okay, great. Yes, I'm gonna press enter only. It has brought it to me between two quotations. I do not need it. I'm gonna delete the quotations at the beginning and at the end. Enter. What did it tell me actually? It's not recognized. See, actually there is something actually at the beginning before the command I passed WMIC inside my file. So I'm gonna check if there is a space or something like that inside my file only. What is this? It is the, I don't know. It's an annotation. It's an let's say an encryption code, so it's something seems to be not UTF. Yeah, I'm gonna change it to. I'm gonna save this file again. So edit. Let's click edit. Oh, is there a space here? No, there is no space. So file save as. Payload is not txt. I'm not gonna keep. I'm gonna keep it ANSI. It's not UTF-8. Same location. I'm gonna change the payload name to payloads or payload WMI. WMI. You keep it like that to differentiate the name. Yes, close. And let's do it. Here it is. Double click again. It blinks as usual, but nothing happens. So the same way, I'm gonna shift and right click to copy as path. Then come back here, paste the path I copied. It's not pasteable, so I'm gonna copy it again. So keep pressing the shift from the keyboard, then right click the mouse, copy as path, come back here. Yes, edit again. So now because of the highlight seems to be. Yes, here it is. Paste. I have to repeat. So shift, right click, copy as path, come back here. Now it would come. Yes, we succeeded. So as usual, I'm gonna get rid of the quotations. Yes, and press enter. Yes, we got the thing. Here it is, and this is the result. Absolutely, we were executing this command, and it has been launched here. So we got the result because we have to execute it from within the console. Otherwise, it will blink. It will execute here when we double click it. It will execute, but it will execute and escape. No more or less. I'm gonna actually just make a small modification to this one to bring your attention to, because actually it has to be very fast. I may pass the sleep command, sleep wait just to sleep, to make it wait for, let's say, 1 second, 1000 milliseconds. Sorry, 1000 milliseconds. Yes, I'm gonna save, and let's see this command here or the pause later. No, it's not having any impact, so I'm gonna use the pause. Whatever, actually, just for your, for your actually reference, no more or less. But even though this, I cancel, I will not do anything. Remember that the device has to be in a silent mode, has to be running in a silent mode. Okay, we come back. Now. Now we were able to see two different consoles, two different interfaces from where we can execute this, manipulate this tool, this WMIC, this WMI actually, and we saw one of the commands. Actually, we come back to our guide. We have actually the capability of extracting so many, let's say, a long list of knowledge, we can say. Just I'm not, because just it's a matter of execution here. Now, since you know how to execute this, the first one, this one, it would actually be beneficial for you to reach all the, let's say, the guide of this WMIC with all the switches, with all the aliases. Then all the others, it is a matter of applying whether from within the WMI console or from the whatever, the CMD or the PowerShell. Then here I'm gonna just make you learn how to extract the outcome of this WMIC into an HTML source using the switches. Yeah, I'm gonna use the outcome as a switch, and then after the format would be actually an H table, means it would be actually printed in an HTML in a sort of a table. So let's do that. So the knowledge here is the same thing actually. We can extract actually the OS content Um, but let's stick in this example. Let's stick in this example. Who is coming now? Huda, why you are late? Okay. So let's stick in this example only for your reference later on, and later on I will modify we'll use different queries. Let's say not the bias. We are not going to interrogate the bias. We will interrogate the operating system itself. So yes, let me come back. So the outcome of such command, whether from this input point or from this input point, we would like it to be actually in an HTML format. So the same query we are going to pass, but outcomes will be different from the it's not the same. So before I do anything, actually I'm going to type bias get. So means actually without a respect that would be actually here in this interface only, not in the HTML format. Bias get, let's say, name. Enough. And the version here will get me the version. I'm going to say again bias get name. Come on, sorry. Manufacturer. 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 Hold on. There is an issue in typing the comment here. I'm going to use the notepad. So even I'm in English actually, even though I'm going to use the notepad to escape the encoding. So I said name, comma, manufacturer. Yes, actually, we can go for the version or for the. It's enough. Okay, I'm gonna copy. Come back here. Paste. And okay, the manufacturer of this computer, the BIOS, sorry, the version or the name here. Actually, it is the distribution here. The version here is the one. So whatever. BIOS 1.10.01, and this is the distribution of the version. So we are able to get some data related, some knowledge about this BIOS here. We're going to generate a standalone file that can be actually trusted by the totality of the security appliances. All the security third-party appliances would trust an HTML file. An HTML file would 100% trust the outcome of the content, whether it is holding a virus or not. See what I'm going to do. So here output, I'm going to say output is a slash at the beginning. Yeah, okay, output. I'm going to say bias.html. I'm going to say bias again, or bias, let it be bias dot buttons. Bias.html space the same command bias get. I'm going to paste. Yes. And nothing happened. If you turn to a new line, nothing happened. But not like in the prior command. It's the same command, no. Bias get name manufacturer version. Here it is bias get name manufacturer version. But here we are specifying that the outcome has to be in a what? In an HTML file. Bias dot, it's a name, it's a user-defined name. I can write Murad, I can write Oman, I can write cybersecurity, I can write malware analysis. It's a name, user-defined name. Extension, no. Extension is this is actually file type. Okay. What it has been actually? What is it? What is it? What is this file? So since it come to a new line, so the results has been saved in this file here. Where it is this file? This file is at the location where this command, actually this WMIC has been launched, which is the H. If I come earlier, I launched the WMIC from the H drive. So either manually I can go to the H drive, where it is. Here it is saying H. What is the H? I'm not able to see the H. Here it is. Yes, this is the H. Yes, so true. So this is the bytes.html. Double click it, 1 kilo size, 1 kilobyte size. Double click it to see what's the content. It is not able to be open, so I'm going to open it using the let's say Google Chrome. Open web. Manufacturer, name, version, DELD, and so on. So it is having the thing. It is having manufacturer, name, version, manufacturer, name, version. So everything is there, but it's not understandable for us. It's one phrase. It's not which one. It's not something that we can interpret. So I'll keep this one here. I'll keep it, and I'm gonna come back to come back to the same command. I'm gonna pass the same command, but I'm gonna format it. Format. Okay, it is for us now to analyze, not for the virus or for the payload. So for us to analyze, we can talk about this format. So format, I'm going to say htable. So htable will be printing the data in the table with the header. So enter the same thing, new line, the same file. I use the same name. I come back, the same name, right click, open web, Google Chrome, see what I have. Something completely different. Something completely different. The node actually it is saying the computer I'm using. Manufacturer, here is my here is my data. Manufacturer, that name, this is the name. Version, this is the version. So everything is very fine. Everything now, and we can understand clearly what is that. Okay, that's great. What I'm going to do now is one step towards security. It's one step towards security. What does it mean? It means this bias, it's an HTML file, holds some data that for us as a first view where it is, it's not that much dangerous. You may say that it's not dangerous, but it's completely it's a key to cause a long list of, let's say, damages to your operating system. This is an entry point. It's a knowledge. It's a knowledge, no, but this knowledge has been generated. This knowledge, let me close it. This knowledge has been generated in a location which is already exposed. It's a public. It's on the network. I'm going to create it in a very secure location. See, I'm going to refer to the System32 directory, where it is, C drive, Windows, System32. Here, I'm going to create it here in this location. This location is actually it's a system protect. For sure, we'll not be able to, let's say, modify the content. For example, I'm going to open it, modify or delete anything from here. It has to be secured somehow. So this is a secured location. Let's see. I'm gonna copy this part here. Copy. Come back to the same console here where I was. I'm gonna exit. Yes, and I'm gonna change my location to where I copied my my file. C Windows System32. Enter. It's not visible because I'm in a different drive. I'm gonna type C : only. Enter plus. So I'm inside the System32. Now here I'm gonna launch. I'm gonna launch the WMIC again. Great. So I'm here again. I'm gonna copy. I'm gonna call the command, the same command here, which was generated earlier. I'm gonna with the same name, BIOS. I may change the name. Let me say BIOS load. Okay, .html, whatever. And invalid file name, he said. I'm gonna say BIOS. Okay, HTML is enough. Or BIOS, whatever. Invalid file name. What's the problem here? BIOS get name manufactured version for market tape. No, it does not have any impact on the name. There is another problem seems to be. I'm gonna say BIOS 2. CDT saying the same thing. I'm gonna pass the same command. I'm gonna pass the same command from within the console here. So I'm gonna say here CD first, paste, int, C drive, C colon. Okay, I'm inside the C now. I'm gonna say system32. So here WMIC output. Let's say output reset output / output. I'm gonna say BS load, whatever dot HTML. Come on, dot HTML get BIOS get name. I'm gonna copy from where from the notepad you already opened. Copy. Avoid the issue of the typos. Okay, manufacturer. I'm gonna bring it aside. Format / format colon. Okay, immediately enter. It says invalid file name, the same issue I'm receiving. May I make any mistake? No, absolutely no. So I'm going to respect the. Okay, WMIC output name.html BIOS get name invalid file name. The same issue. I'm gonna change the WMIC to be in capital. Just decrease entry. Format. No, it's format, not format. See the issue I'm typing. My God. Okay. Still the same invalid file name. Format HTML table. HTML. There is no issue at all. Format. No issue at all. Why it is not doing? Why it is not doing? Yeah, I recognized. I recognized. Okay. Uh, if we refer to our guide, actually, it seems to be because the command absolutely is it's valid. Yet why it's not giving us actually a clear message? What is the error? The message is saying that the file is not the name is not correct. Actually, this is a user defined, so it does not have any relation with it with being erroneous or not. No, it has no impact. It does not influence completely because it's user defined already. As like when we write in C++, for example, we declare a variable saying int a equal 5. Can the a be erroneous? Oh, absolutely, it's user defined. So uh, what we have to recognize is that the WMI it has to run actually in an administrative with administrative rights So here thus I'm gonna just recall the same thing. I'm gonna just recall the same thing, the same command, but with administrative rights. So here, because I'm not an administrator, I'm a normal user here. So I'm gonna call the command prompt again, but as admin. Click run as administrator, which will lead us to to be authenticated versus the user account control. So we do not have the right to do so. I have my virtual machine already running. So I'm gonna move into a full screen inside the virtual machine, Windows 10. and I'm going to call the command prompt, open it as administrator. Okay, in here, I'm going to okay, the same thing. I'm going to just pass my WMIC to be the output, actually output to be, let's say, BIOS. I'm inside Murad, I'm not inside system32, but I'll come back. So HTML, let's say BIOS is our command. Sorry, BIOS is our command, and we'd like to get the name, the manufacturer, the version. It's okay. Oh, and / format. Format would be actually an H label. Immediately I'm going to type. So it has been executed because I'm an administrator. So here, if I start this location, I will find something named BIOS, and it is actually a browser. Here it is in the edge, because inside the virtual machine we do not have other browser, only the edge. So double click. It's the edge, yeah. Double click it. Yes, and we have the results here. Very fine. So as an administrator, we were able to execute this utility. We continue. Now we continue. We continue. I was saying that would like it to be executed inside the system32, the secure location. This PC, the Windows system32. Here it is. I'm going to copy this path. Come back here. CD space, paste. Okay, enter. I'm here. I'm going to pass the same command. It's fine. It's being generated. So inside the system32 now, we will find a file named BIOS.html. So let's go there. Here. First of all, yeah. Search for the BIOS, the HTML. Here it is. When it has been generated now, today, and now only 117. It's in lifetime. It is in lifetime only. Now double click it. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to delete it. Yes, it has been deleted. Means actually it is something to be controlled. Malware generated, the malware delete, the malware generated a resource, a malware hidden resource, and so on. So there is no issue at all. Okay. Let's just go one step further. Let's go with the task number 2, the next one. Let's finish. The request here actually is to see whom are the users of this computer, whom are the sessions that have been recorded in this computer, and what are the, let's say, the history. What is the history of the visits? What did they open? What did they install? What did they actually visit over the web or in local computer? To do so, we need to have the list of the users. What is the user, first of all? And then after, the list of users. So I'm going to say, I'm going to use this user account, actually, the WMI console as usual. So user account, yeah. And I'm going to say get SID, session ID, and I'm going to say the name. It's enough. And the name, and so on. And the session ID. What is this? Actually, we humans, we understand those names here. We humans, we recognize those names. Administrator, okay, it's understandable. Murad, okay, it's understandable. Guest, okay, understandable. The computer does not. The computer does not understand those things here. He has his own session ID for each account. For each recorded account in this computer. Any account that has been authenticated locally its session is this following. So we can have the session of those here, those. Why we are searching for this session? Because we would like to be administrators in order to execute such a query here. So what is the administrator? We have administrator here. We have admin also or not? No, we do not have admin. We have only administrator one. It's okay. So we have an administrator account. So the session to be utilized by the malware should be this one. The following is the session account. Okay. Okay. If we suspect that actually now exactly at this level, if we suspect that there is a malware that has been actually compromising the account, the session of this administrator, and he did something in the computer, what should we do? Immediately we dig into the registry in order to see what are the visits, what are the installations, what is the history of this candidate, of this session. First of all, there are two sessions. The session which we are using, the who am I, this one, and this who am I'm going to use it again to extract my current session. So I'm going to say /user. Here it is. So the same user, the current user, who am I, is the same here. It has its own session. So this is the session of the current user. Here it is, which is the same here. It's the same. So we are punctual. This one is available in the registry as a current user, local machine current user. And we are going to see the history, the recorded sessions using this one because these are administrators. So for our purpose here to see if a malware has executed or has done something in our computer, if there is a malware hidden and running in our computer, we will see the list of the visits and the list of the installations, software installations in our computer based on this session, because nothing would be actually done inside the computer without being tracked. Everything. You open the computer will detect you. The computer will detect you. We will not do anything. We will not install anything. Nothing to be installed. No third-party applications, no third-party solutions, no sniffing, nor spoofing utilities. No sniffing, no spoofing utilities from the computer itself. How to? Reg edit. Just we call the reg edit. Reg edit. Okay, reg edit. Great. So here it is. Here it is. See the path. Actually, I'm going to just copy this path straight forward. Whatever actually. Yeah. So this part here, what I'm highlighting, it is one part that actually it is actually a Windows 10 based part only. It's a Windows 10 based part only. What does it mean? Actually, if you run it on a different computer, for example, Windows 8, no, it will not run. Windows 7, it will not run. It is a Windows 10 innovation. The BAM registry, the BAM Hive, actually, it is one of the added values that the Microsoft has brought into life in order to actually help us understand what are the background activities running. BAM stands for background activity moderator. A background activity moderator. Actually, it is. Yeah, absolutely. I believe so. It is absolutely. It is a hive. It is a registry hive that would register would lead us to recognize what are the installed software in this computer. But in this actually, whatever. I'll come back to this one. I'll come back to this one here. I'll come back to this one. So, okay, let me get out from here, because actually this is I visited earlier. Okay. This session here, this local machine here, is the session of the one of the current user. The session here, you see it here. This H key local machine. What we are going to see here, it is 100% related to this session, to this user. So whatever you're going to see here, it's the session. And do not expect, no, we expect everything, but whatever. To see if the malware has installed something under this, the session of the administrator, we have to check where is this session, and we see what are the contents. So how to HKey users, double click it, and those are some registered sessions. We call it sessions from within the regulated, and we have to match. So it ends with 500. It's not there. It's not there. So it's 118, 19, 20, 21, 21, 21. This is the 21. It seems to be, it has been actually rewritten. 1000, 1001, 1001, 7. Yeah, because actually the administrator, here actually I understand that clearly that this administrator is recorded, yes, but it did not log in since the last, let's say, update of this operating system. Or since, yes, absolutely. So it did not actually log in since a while of time. So we now actually can conclude that there is no malware actually that has been, as per this example only, that has actually executed anything inside our computer, since the session is not recorded in the registry. It's not a matter of maybe here. It's a full stop. Session is not available means there is no track. Means the system did not log any activity. The system will not escape any activity done over a session. This is for sure. Nothing to be escaped. I come back to the current user, Windows system. Let's say here, services, current control set, and then after services, services, I'm not able to see the services. What it is? SE services. SE. Okay. Machine. Services. Services actually here. I'm inside the services only. What's the problem? So immediately bump the background actually activity moderator. Yes, the bump here it is. And then here and here actually we see two actually entries. Those entries they actually track in the history of what has been generated. Each has a different extension. One is the XE, and one is the the not the W, the Y. So actually, those are actually list in the history of the installation. So we are not analyzing what are exactly those key those those word files. Those let's say D word files, not word files. Those D word files. Those are system entries to record the log each. Yeah, see the long list here. Whatever. Let me just come back to the guide to have a look. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna give you the recording for now. I'm gonna give you the recording for now, and I need you to re-practice exactly what I just did right now. For the purpose later on, we will the next part I'm gonna send it to you just also. We'll do just right after to automate all what we did so far to generate a malware that actually before I do anything actually let's do it now. Let's do it now. Okay, in here I'm inside the same administrator command prompt inside the virtual machine. I'm gonna just store my DOS key history history inside actually and let's say I'm gonna say WMIC.txt for example. TXT file WMIC I'm giving the name WMIC lab .txt and nothing happened because all the history of what we typed it has been inserted inside a file named WMIC lab. Let me search it. It's inside the what system32. So go there, system32. I'm inside system32, yes. So WMIC 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 lab. It's a TXT file, it's text document. This is the one. Right click, edit or open or whatever. Yes, it has all the commands we did. It has all the commands we typed. All the history we did. It has it actually, line by line. Command number one, command number two. This is what we did. This is what we did so far. So this to save it for your reference. You do it like this to save your commands for today. To see what you did to come back and yes for your let's say revision purposes, and later on actually you submit it to me through the along with your practices with your print screens. This same file here, you submit it to me as a result of your practice now with the print screen of your findings. So I'm gonna send you now this recording, and I'll be with you step by step to share your screens, all of you now.